Hello everybody, it is Michaela Nicole and welcome back to the channel. So today we are doing a pretty exciting video, at least for me. So you might have already seen the first part of this little series, and that is the Polaroid video. I will link it somewhere around here. And I basically just went through all of my Polaroid brand cameras in my vintage camera collection. So I thought it would be fun to today go through the next round of cameras that I have the most of, and that would be Kodak. So Kodak and Polaroid were like kind of competitors in a way, but kind of not. But Kodak had a really popular brand of cameras that was intended to help make photography be less scary for the common man, if that makes sense, because it was kind of foreign and people were kind of like, I don't know if I can do that or not. So they came out with a whole range of cameras called Brownie cameras, and they're essentially just supposed to be really small or easy to use, but they make other cameras as well. So I'm gonna go through all of my cameras from Kodak. So as you can see, some of them are behind me here, some of them are here and there and everywhere. So we will start with the oldest camera, this camera has just surpassed my former oldest camera by 2 years, and that is the Kodak number 2 Model F. And that would be this little guy right here. So this camera is from 1931. And this one's green, but they came in lots of different colors. This is Model F. You can see, well, the inside tells you, but you can also tell by this this knob that it's different, and what model it is. But I got this in a little antique store in Mebane, North Carolina. Shout out to Carolina Pickin'. I got these for a really great deal, and basically this camera is super basic. It's got a shutter here, and that opens and closes the shutter. I'll show you again. And this is a viewfinder, as well as that one right there, and then that's where your picture would be taken out of. And it's super easy to use. The only thing in here is where the film goes. You pull out this little key here, and then the whole cartridge comes out. And on the inside, that cover is kind of cool. It has all of the patent numbers listed that it would have needed to use, and I just think that's pretty cool. So yeah, that is the Kodak number 2 Model F from 1931. Moving on to our next little friend here, we have the Kodak Target 616, which is right here. Now, this camera is also from the same little thrift store, and it is in shockingly good condition. The only thing that's going on is this little string hanging off. And these are really hard to find because they're highly sought after, so I'm very grateful to the lovely staff at Carolina Pickin' for letting me have this. It sounds like I'm sponsored, but I'm not. They were just really sweet, and she gave me a great deal on these cameras, so I'm very thankful for that. But this is the Target 616 from 1946. It is covered in leather. Well, a leatherette is what it's called, around the outside. Otherwise it's just a tin box. Once again, we have the side little shutter button, except this time it bounces back instead of just being there. We open it from the front, but I'm not going to open it right now just because it's old and kind of a task. But yes, this camera is super iconic in the Kodak Brownie box camera life. And it's just really cool. I'm really glad that I have this one. I'd love to know its history. Yes, this is the Target 616 from 1946. Fun little story, I was on a hunt for some cameras because I had only found one camera in real life, like in person. Everything else has come from like online, or people have directly given them to me. But I was on a mission, so me and my dad went antiquing, and the entire goal was to find one camera, and I found 3, so that was really exciting. I got them for really good prices, so I'm very excited about that. And that's where these 2 came from, so they've got a really fun story for me, just because I got to see them and check them out in real life, do some bargaining, and it was really fun. Now, the next iteration of a Brownie camera, as we can see, the evolution has kind of gone from the number 2 to the Target 616, and now we kind of have the smaller version of the 616. This is the Brownie Hawkeye, which was made in 1949. Now, that is only 3 years after the 616 came out. This camera had the capability for a big flash attachment to be added to it. I, however, do not have the flash attachment. This camera is a pretty fascinating little guy. So you've just got your little handle here to turn your film. This is your shutter button right there. And then if you wanted to do a long exposure, you would pull this up and it would let you. Which is just pretty cool. It's got room right there for the flash. It does not have a tripod hole. That was more of a later addition. But yes, this is the Brownie Hawkeye flash model. It's just a really simple little box camera. It's got some cool texturing on its sides. And it's kind of cool to see how it's a miniature version of the 616. It's just really cool to me. So yes, this is the Brownie Hawkeye from 1949. Now we have our little friend who is right behind me. It is called the Kodak Brownie Holiday. So the Kodak Brownie Holiday is from 1953. Now, if this camera doesn't really scream the 50s to you, I don't know what does, because it is so, like, I just feel like it's so classic. It's, I don't know if you can tell that well, but it's this brown color on the outside with, of course, like the silver things and the bright red logo there. And it's just so tiny and, like, I just love it. And it's got this little handle for your carrying purposes, and the viewfinder is right there, so it's super tiny to take pictures through. It's really cute. And yeah, this is just, I don't know, it's just so cute. Once again, it's got that simple knob here to wind your film, and then your shutter is right there. It's really not complex, and that was the whole point of Brownie cameras, was to make it more accessible to the modern man, so that anybody could be taking pictures. So they really weren't trying to make it difficult. They were trying to make it as easy and simple as possible. So yes, this is the Kodak Brownie Holiday from 1953. Moving forward 4 years, we have the Brownie Star Flash. Now, this Brownie Star Flash was gifted to me by my boyfriend. He got it for me after finding it on eBay, and it's pretty cool. You would put your flash bulb in here, of course, that makes sense, and it would shoot off your bulb whenever you took a picture. It was just one bulb at a time. The winding keys for your film are down there. Your shutter button is right there, and it makes that like really classic sound. I gotta wind again. I just think it's so cute. It's got color and black and white options. It's got a viewfinder right here in the middle. You can kind of see it flashing there. And then to open it, on this side there's just a little key that you pull, and the entire bottom comes out, and that's where your film would get loaded. And inside it's just a cartridge. Then once your film is loaded, you would just slide it back in and lock it up. I just think that this is such a unique looking camera. It's got this cool like diagonal, I don't know if you can see, it's got this cool diagonal side here. It's really thin. It's about the size of my hand, a little shorter than my hand. And I don't know, I just think it's got such a cool look to it. Of course, it's got the Brownie and Kodak logos in the red. And I think that this is pretty cool. It's kind of standard on a lot of these cameras once you hit a point, but it has like instructions of different exposure levels to use and what to use when, and I just think that that's really cool. This one is distances for lamps, so whatever kind of flash you're gonna put in it is directed by your spacing, which is fun. But yeah, this one's just a cool little camera. They all took square photos. Well, not all of them, but most of them took square photos. So that is the Kodak Brownie Star Flash from 1957. Now, moving on to this camera, which I just got, so I'm not fully up to date with it. It came in its original box with its original packaging, which is pretty cool. It is the Kodak Pony 2. And this camera is not a Brownie camera, so it's a little more fancy. The Kodak Pony 2 is from 1959, which is only 2 years after the Star Flash, so just as a point of reference. This is kind of your standard film camera, and what's kind of cool about this one is that as of 2018 it was tested and works, so you know, someone might be doing a little bit of a film photography soon. But this one is just, it's so fascinating. The back says what kind of film, well, it tells you what exposure values to use on these cameras, and I just think that that's fun. And then you would turn this little bit here to decide what your exposure level would be. It's got numbers all over it. Your winding keys are here, of course, and to open it, you just pull this little side piece down and the whole thing opens. Once again, we've got our little viewfinder, our big Kodak red logo, and I just think that this is such a cool standard little point and shoot. I don't know, I just think it's so fun and it looks great. So I will keep you guys updated if I do take any photos with this camera. It's pretty cool little guy. It's kind of heavy, but it's got the long neck strap and everything. So anywho, that is the Kodak Pony 2 from 1959. And last, but certainly not least in my Kodak lineup, is the Brownie Mite 2. Now, the Mite 2 is from 1962, and that ages this camera to be about 50 years old, in case you didn't want to do quick math. A little over 50, actually. 59, so almost 60 years old. It used to have a strap on it, but obviously the strap has come out of its little containers. This camera came with its box, but I do not have it out here with me right now. Once again, we have the little thing that tells you what kind of film and light bulbs to use. What's kind of fun about this one, and also kind of terrifying, is this plastic cover is part of the camera. You would put your bulb in here and then put this over it so that when the bulb exploded, shrapnel would not hit you. So that's a little sketchy. This camera's kind of fun because it came in a lot of colors. There was like red and black, and I have the blue or gray version. It kind of looks blue to me, and I don't know, it's just fun. I've got my viewfinder, once again, little viewfinder. It's got some cool detailing on the front. There's like all these little polka dots. Of course, our bright red logos, and then the sides are this cool textured thing. Once again, we've got the standard 2 holes on the bottom, one for locking, one for winding. And this top bit would also lock. You got your shutter button here, like always, and it makes the standard noise. So I just think that this one's pretty cool. It's also kind of different because it has this screw that would like hold the whole thing on, and it was super loose when I first got it, so I had to screw the whole thing back on. But I think it's just a cool little camera. Like, this is something that would be so fun if it still worked. It might still work, I don't know. But like, can you imagine being in the 60s and you're like carrying this thing around to take your pictures? I just think that's so fun. That is the Brownie Mite 2 from 1962. Now, I do not have as many Kodak cameras as I do Polaroid cameras, which is kind of surprising because Polaroids are a little harder to find, but that is all of them that I have. I do have some other technology from Kodak that is not a camera, but I might make a separate video about those things later on. But I also have some other cameras that are not Kodak or Polaroid branded, and not like that matters, but I just didn't want to include them in this video or the last one because they weren't those brands. So if you are interested in seeing a video about those cameras, let me know, because I just think it would be fun and we can go through them and talk about them a little bit, because some of them have some really cool history. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave some comments down below. Tell me what your favorite camera is out of the Kodak collection. Tell me which one you would want to use if you could use one, if it worked. I don't know. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, share. I don't know, whatever you want to do. You can even, roast me in the comments. I don't care. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will hopefully see you for the next one. Bye.